disappeared. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here because my platform is to help somebody else out, in the middle of me learning and unlearning who I am. And one of the things that I'm learning about myself is that I can't half step my faith, and I can't have one foot in and one foot out. And I had heard a snippet. I actually was watching a sermon. Hence the glossed over look in my eyes, right? But I was watching a sermon, and I think it's my prayer time right now. But I was watching a sermon, and Bishop Jakes was on the sermon, and he was like, either you're going to leave it with God or you're not. Either you're going to have faith or you're not. And I think when it comes down to losing your focus, you lose yourself, because I forgot that I'm not rushing anything. And sometimes people can want to fast forward you into a season that you're not ready for, so that you can fumble because you're not well equipped. That's where your personal boundaries come from, and that's where your accountability comes from. See, I'm not in the mode or in the space of really blaming anybody for anything. Whatever I do, that's on me. But I'm here to shine some light on the fact that if you don't set a boundary for where you're at right now in your personal walk, you will feel the pressure. You'll feel unnecessary societal pressure to catapult yourself into a season, into a place, into something that you're not necessarily equipped for. It's not saying that you'll never get there. What I'm saying is that you'll get there, but you have to go through a little bit of training. You got to go through a little bit of life lessons before you get there. You want to take the narrow path and not the wide path. What do I mean by the narrow path? You want to go the path that God is leading you on. You don't want to accelerate onto a path that God did not give you the green light for. Anything He did not tell you to chase after, do not chase, because you're going to be running around in circles chasing your tail, or you might chase yourself right into a dead end. And it's not healthy, it's not fair, and it's disobedience to God to try to rush yourself or push yourself into any situation that you just know you're not able or you're not equipped to handle, or that's something that you're not prepared for. That goes for love relationships, that goes for business endeavors, that goes for creative endeavors, that goes for anything that is going to yield or produce some sort of outcome. A relationship can yield and produce an outcome. And if you do not nurture your mental health, if you do not nurture your relationship with God, if you do not nurture what your personal goals, beliefs, and convictions are, then you are going to go into this avenue of a relationship and you're not going to produce anything but rotten fruit. It's going to be a disaster. You need to wake up and know who you are, and don't let nobody bully you or push you into something that you're not ready for. I was hoodwinked by my own anxiety and by certain societal pressures into pushing myself into an arena or into an outlet a lane that I shouldn't have been driving in. I had said what my own conviction was. I said no. But when something or someone is forcing itself onto you, an ideal, a project, a collaboration, and it just don't feel right, go to God in prayer, but also trust that feeling. Because it may not be that the other side has a negative intention. It could be. But it may not be that. It may just be that that's not where you're supposed to be right now. And stop with this whole there's a good hustle, there's a ebb and flow, and then there's a toxic hustle culture. I have never been the type of person, and this is why I'm doing my series called Hotels. I'm in it for the money. Because that's never been my narrative. I've never been the type of person where I just ran after money. I run after passion. I don't even run after Negroes with money. I don't. It's nothing wrong with a man having money. But I want to know, can I stick in there with you for better or for worse, for richer or for poor? I want to know, where is my heart like at with you? Where is my mind? Because love is a conscious decision. And if you unconsciously lose everything that you have, am I going to still be able to stick with you, considering the circumstances? I don't even make decisions based off of that. So how did I get to the point to where I ultimately was cutting myself short by hustling backwards and chasing a bag that I didn't even know what the value was in the bag? The truth of it is, I am the bag. I'll always be the bag. It don't matter who says what, who tries to copy what phone calls are made behind the scenes. I am the bag. I'm the whole tote. It's fine. I saw a post that has said purpose over popularity. That's absolutely correct for me. Purpose over popularity. There's times where I get up, well, y'all see me get mad, upset, fly off the handle. It's hormones mixed with like demons and all other things. But we getting through it. We getting through it. I have, I'm not the only one that's been through something. So I'm going through this emotional roller coaster. Shout out to like Vivian Green. But I'm like going through this emotional roller coaster, and I'm getting off the ride. I'm finally getting off the ride. It's going up, 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 and then it's going down, up and around, and I'm getting off the ride. Hey, but you know what? While I'm on the ride, while I was taking the ride, I'm glad that I recorded myself on the ride, and I'm glad that I went through the journey on the ride. This whole year has been a ride, and I don't take back nothing that I say. Like, it has been the best year because it's been a real year for me. I'm unlearning the mechanics of my people pleasing. And based off of my last post that I did, it wasn't based off of really a relationship that didn't really go anywhere. My last post, and I think I'm going to redo that post, but just like tweak it. But my last post was basically me lashing out at the oppression that I faced within my family dynamic and being confused about like, why me? But then also coming to the end of it, like, why not me? Like, yeah, I know like things happen in our families, and a lot of people are strong and they don't talk about what they've gone through, and they don't talk about their struggles. I'm gonna talk about it. I have a mouth. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my struggles. And if it comes across as offensive, I can't apologize for it anymore because I've been silent for so long. I got to talk about, the unfairness and the injustices that I have and the grievances that I've aired out despite in indifference of what anybody has to say. I've made statements, I've said things, and at the time that I made the statements and said things, I didn't know who was doing what or what was going on. But I know my truth. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's prayed and interceded and said things behind closed doors to God that they never even, came out publicly and said, but just had me on their minds and hearts. There's more people that have been praying, even with everything that's been said, than none. And I'm grateful for that. And I needed those prayers. And I still can't take back what I said. I still can't take back what I said about the fact that, yeah, like, at the end of the day, I'm still walking with God. It may not look like the walk that most people take, but I'm still walking with God. Like, that's the in all be all. That's one of the components of my purpose, is to let people know, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you're going through. Your mother could be a whore and the father could hold the money. God still needs you, and he still is going to use you. Yeah. You could come from a whole family of people just messed up, discombobulated. They put the left shoe on the right foot and come outside, pants be backwards. But God still can use you. And he can use you to change the trajectory of the narrative of the family. And he can use you to do things even when you're scared. And he can use you to learn about new things. And he can use you to come at the end of yourself. This was still the best year that I've had. I don't have no complaints. I have thank yous. I have thank yous for all the hurts, all the pains, all the things that were said. I have thank yous. And I really meant that from the bottom of my feet. Thank you. I said thank you because at the end of the day, it made me a better person. It made me stronger. And it made me understand that my walk is worth it. My walk is worth everything that I've been through, everything that I've come up against. My walk. It's helped me in the area of also being able to go beyond myself and talk to people who have gone through way more than me, had way more than me, and lost it and got it back. And some didn't recover. And I've gotten life perspectives out of that. There's people who have done worse, who have felt like they couldn't come back from anything, and their whole life bounced back. And that's the power of God. That's like the power of the Holy Spirit. Like, I couldn't have a testimony if I didn't have a test. And I do have a real life testimony with saying, yeah, I survived it. Now I'm going to go and thrive in my purpose. But I really did survive, like, some crazy stuff. And I'm allowed to share that, and I'm allowed to say that, and I'm saying it and I'm sharing it because whoever you are out there, whatever you're facing, it could be heartbreak, it could be disappointment, it could be lack of self-worth, it could be mental illness, you might be the black sheep of the family, you might have gone through trials and tribulations, you may have had a death attempt on your life, whatever it is. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. And the only way that you can live to fight another day is if you do like how my phone is alerting me right now. It says more light required. In order for the light to get in and in order for the light to consume you, you've got to get into the power of God, the power of Yeshua. I call him Yeshua. You know him as Jesus Christ.